Live in Western Oregon, this is NBC 16 News at 5:30.
Many Oregonians are still waiting for unemployment benefits amid thousands of layoffs due to the coronavirus pandemic. Good evening and thanks for joining us for NBC 16 at 5:30. I'm Alan Matthews. The Oregon Employment Department says that they've more than quadrupled their staff to handle the surge, but many people are still facing difficulties when filing and others are desperately waiting for income. NBC 16's Kelsey Christensen spoke with one man going through this and questioned OED about when people could get payouts.
It's going on 3 weeks without making any money now.
Ohio Houston is one of the more than 5,300 people in Lane County that have filed for unemployment since March 29th. He was temporarily laid off from a local lumber shop. And like many other Oregonians, he's still waiting for a check.
If we don't get money, income coming in, then yeah, we're going to be in a really bad spot.
Problem is, he keeps getting error messages like this one, telling him there's a problem in the system and to restart his claim. Gail Kremenauer with the Oregon Employment Department says some glitches have been happening due to the historic surge of claims.
We know that it is going to happen in a system that is several decades old.
She says IT has been working on the problem and is ready for submission again. But if you missed a weekly claim, you'll have to email them your info. For other errors, OED also has a website with answers to common issues. Kremenauer says there are nearly double the amount of claims since the 2008 recession. OED has more than quadrupled its staff to deal with the surge, but she explains the filing process is still intensive.
You don't have to come in with a certified letter that says I got laid off, right? We do that work.
Meaning OED staff needs time to verify your claim, putting an average wait time until you see a check at about 3 weeks based on the difficulty of your claim. And call wait times are sometimes 2 hours, and that's why she suggests going online instead. But a silver lining for those still waiting for their unemployment check, OED says despite any issues filing a claim, the pay is retroactive, meaning you'll be paid beginning the time you were eligible for unemployment. Reporting in Eugene, I'm Kelsey Christensen.
The CARES Act is also now in effect, meaning those already eligible for unemployment benefits should soon receive $600. OED says that it's still working with the feds to implement the CARES Act money for those unemployed due to the pandemic. OED says that money will be paid retroactively since it took effect on March 29th. For more information and the link to the OED website for unemployment claims and questions, you can visit our website at NBC16.com. According to the Springfield Eugene Tenant Association, around 30% of their calls in the last 3 weeks have been in regard to illegal evictions. This comes after Governor Kate Brown announced a freeze on evictions during the coronavirus pandemic. While attempting to evict tenants is illegal right now, the association says it's still a problem for residents in the Willamette Valley.
After Governor Brown's moratorium on evictions, ideally, we should be receiving 0 calls, and it seems that we've had an increased number of calls. So, yeah, it's very unfortunate.
Morris says it's also illegal for a landlord to harass or pressure tenants to leave during this time. He says renters can call the Tenant Association or Lane County Legal Aid for help. As we go further into the warmer weather, Oregonians will be tempted to stay at home less despite Governor Brown's order to stay at home. But when will Oregon start to reopen, and what would that look like? NBC 16's Angelina Dixon reports.
We're wearing masks if we have to go out, but the questions are, when can Oregon reopen? When can the economy take off its mask? When can businesses and restaurants reopen? The answers might be simple from a medical approach.
The first would be that diseases, either infections or deaths, decrease over the course of 2 incubation periods.
And it's common sense. Nobody seems to know when that might be for now. Dr. Lucky says he has seen cases stabilize lately.
And those of you who've been watching the numbers very closely know that we've kind of hit a relatively stable period, a couple cases a day, sort of a plateau, and we hope to stay there and then slowly decrease. So we're certainly not where we would be to say cases are decreasing over 2 incubation periods.
But from a business approach, Eugene Chamber of Commerce CEO Brittany Quickwarner says it's really by a play-by-ear basis. She says she's waiting for the announcement from the governor.
Things back on. The hardest part about this specific disaster, right, if you compare it to other natural disasters where there's one specific event and then you kind of know that you get a turn into recovery mode. This is ongoing and it's really unclear when it's going to be over.
She says it's not a time for fear. It's a time to end this together. And just like Dr. Luck, he says we could end this by staying home as much as possible if we can. Even with warmer weather on the way, people will be compelled to escape the quarantine blues.
Well, it's easy to think, oh, we've been in this for a while, and I haven't really heard of anybody who's been impacted. Those cases and those reports are still real, and they're still happening.
She says once everything reopens, she imagines it to be a slow, gradual process. In Eugene, I'm Angelina Dixon reporting.
Quick Warner says to be patient with businesses and each other when everything reopens. It may take time to bring things back up to speed. Well, there are more than 1,500 coronavirus cases and 53 deaths in Oregon. The Oregon Health Authority announced 57 new cases and one more death. The latest death is a 66-year-old Washington County resident who had underlying medical conditions. Washington, Multnomah, and Marion counties alone have the most cases. Taking a look at our region, Benton County has 23 cases. Lynn County has 52 cases. Here in Lane County, we added 5 cases to bring our total to 43. Deschutes County has the most in our region with 54. Douglas County added 3 more cases. They now have 17, and there is still only 1 case in Coos County. Lane County public health officials report that those new cases are people from the Eugene-Springfield area. They include 1 male in his 20s, a female in her 40s, 1 in her 50s, and another female in her 70s. Information about the 5th patient will be released at a later time. Of the positive cases here in Lane County, public health officials say 6 people are in the hospital and 12 people have recovered. Recovery is defined as 3 days without symptoms or using medicine. 23 people are recovering at home right now.
I will say that it's very visible where we see problems with physical distancing, or problems with people not observing certain aspects of that. But overall, we believe that the majority of the people in Lane County are following physical distancing guidelines, and we're going to go ahead and encourage people to continue that.
Public Health says more than 1,300 COVID-19 tests have been done in Lane County. New data shows that social distancing is working. According to the Oregon COVID-19 Joint Information Center, there could have been 18,000 cases and 500 hospitalizations in the state, but because people are staying home and following guidelines, the numbers are far lower. However, researchers say it's important to continue social distancing in an effort to prevent more cases.
Now, this was definitely a way to start off our Monday with clear blue skies and plenty of sunshine, and yet again, temperatures warming up well above average. Here's a look at some of those numbers across our area as I enjoy out on my back patio, managing to warm up into the mid-60s for those of us in the valleys, even in the 60s out along the coast. But look out over on our Monday over the Eugene area, Autzen Stadium, with that sunshine raining down on us. And of course, radar and satellite showing calm, quiet conditions. That will remain for tonight. But the pollen count still remains extremely high for the trees, grass at moderate stages. Keep that allergy medicine close at hand through the weekend, or through the rest of this week, I should say. And tonight, temperatures are going to fall back into the 30s. Sunshine yet again tomorrow. I'll let you know what's still in store for later this week in a few minutes.
All right, thanks a lot, Josh. Well, a 19-year-old man in connection to a shooting in a West University neighborhood last Wednesday has turned himself in. Eugene police say the Special Investigations Unit worked with the family members of the suspect, Tommy Dwayne Hansen, for him to safely arrive at Eugene Police Headquarters this afternoon. Hansen faces charges of attempted murder and robbery. The other suspect involved, Demario Jackson, was arrested in Springfield last week. We will continue to bring you updates as we get them. 2 people are dead after a stabbing and shooting in Bandon over the weekend. The suspect was arraigned at the Coos County Courthouse in Coquille today. 33-year-old Ashley Weber was charged with 2 counts of murder in the first degree. Weber indicated that she wanted to waive her right to an attorney. Judge Martin Stone said a public defender will still talk with her ahead of her next court appearance.
I anticipate there will not be a preliminary hearing next Monday. We'll be presenting the case to the grand jury this week. And when we come in and file the indictment, the charging instrument from the grand jury, there'll be no requirement for a prelim at that point.
According to Frazier, police responded to a residence north of Bandon on Saturday morning. 55-year-old Michael Lambert reported he had been shot and stabbed in his home a few houses away.
The police went over there, and that's where they found the body of Ms. Moon. And then there were 2 people in the house.
Those two were Weber and an unnamed man. Both were interviewed and Weber was arrested. Bail is set at $2 million. If found guilty, the maximum sentence in the case is life without parole. Autopsies on the victims will be conducted. And if you have any details about this case, you're asked to call the Coos County Sheriff's Office. On the homepage of our website at NBC16.com, you can find more information on free meals for students available in our area. It's all coronavirus related. Just click the tab for more information. Well, coming up on your only local news at 5:30, volunteers handed out groceries to senior communities. How you can qualify for the program.